Hey, what's up, everyone? Morning Crossing here, and today we're going to be doing a throwing mechanics breakdown on Lamar Jackson from his 5 touchdown performance just the other day on Monday Night Football. We'll go ahead and hop right into it here. So we have Lamar Jackson. He's rolling out to the side. He flips the hips, getting ready to throw the ball. We're going to look at his release time. So we're going to start with when the ball first leaves that front hand. We're looking at the bottom here. So we're looking at 109.67. And then he brings the ball back, and he's getting the ball out at about a little bit before 9.7, but after 9.4, so you could probably say like 9.5, which would be about 0.28 under what we typically see, or what the goal ends up being is 0.3. I guess we don't typically see that if considering the breakdowns that we get, because typically people that are not playing at a Division I or NFL level are getting the ball out of their hands that quickly. So most of you guys that are probably watching this are closer to like 0.4 or above, where the goal wants to be get as close to 0.3 as possible. Just gives an idea of the efficiency of you being able to get the ball out of your hands. If you're getting it out in closer to 0.4 or again above, then you're just inefficient with what you're doing with the loading process, and that also throws off how well you're going to be able to sync up the whole throw with the rest of the body. So it's important to understand how to be able to maximize the throwing motion, and we don't want to do that, or we can't do that if we have a lot of inefficient movement happening. We're going to go into a deep throw ball here. As we can see with this, what he does a really good job of as he's getting this front foot down, notice how he keeps his weight back, right? Especially as he first loads into it. So he takes a little hitch, bends in that back knee. In this case, and when you're throwing the deep ball, the big difference that ends up happening from when you're throwing the ball further down the field in comparison to underneath is you're going to get the ball a little bit further back. We're going to also have a little bit more of an arch in the shoulders. And then from there, he does a good job of being able to rotate within that lower half. So again, he keeps that lower body or the weight back in his lower body. And then from there, really releases it and is able to get full rotation. In his throwing mechanics, he gets a lot of rotation in general in that upper body. I would say he could probably do a better job of keeping this front shoulder closed a little bit longer and get a little bit sooner hip rotation. We just recently did a video on getting that hip rotation. He gets a little bit there as that foot hits the ground, but you can see there's not too much hip and shoulder separation happening there. And that's why, I mean, he has a strong arm, obviously. He doesn't have the strongest arm. I know he had some shoulder issues and stuff like that, but he still has plenty of arm strength to be able to deliver a good throw there. Here is a good example of him just getting the front foot down and then just creating that rotation, being very strong and stiff in that front side. And I think that this ends up being an important thing to be able to recognize in a lot of these top quarterbacks is they're getting really that front foot down, maybe a little bit off to the side, and then being really stiff in that front side as they're generating rotation through the hip. So you can see first he gets the foot down, rotates, but then there's like a stiffness as he's absorbing the weight into that front leg that makes it so then he's able to, I think, deliver a little bit more power behind it. This is a good one just because it's rolling out. So we can see in this situation how he really rotates with that front shoulder. So when you're rolling out to the side, what's important is make sure that you're pushing back with that front arm to make it so then we can get some retraction, or again, that hip and shoulder separation to then make it so then you could deliver the throw. Okay. And then when you're throwing out on the run, you're also going to be, if you're a right-handed quarterback, you're going to be really generating force off of the right leg, where left-handed quarterback off of the left leg, where typically that kind of plant leg is going to be the opposite, right? So for a right-handed quarterback, it would be the left leg is typically more of that plant leg, more of the leg that you're getting rotation off of, where when you're throwing it to the right, that's going to end up changing and alternating slightly. It shouldn't be a big change, but it will definitely be a change. And then the last one here is going to be from the back. So big thing that we're seeing is a great job of getting that rotation in the wrist and the nose of the football. And this is important because, again, we see a lot of people that will just kind of lift this ball straight up, and therefore the nose of the football ends up facing straight up into the air, as opposed to what you can see with him, it's already rotating to the side. And that's important in making it so then you can get the ball out of your hand quick. So if you are lifting the ball straight up and the nose of the football ends up facing this way, straight up into the air, then you know you are going to be ineffective with your throwing motion. You're going to end up going off to the side typically. And this is a lot of times where we see people that will end up dropping the elbow a lot, and also, again, coming a lot more around. I mean, even here you could see how he's kind of coming around around with his arm motion, but he does a good job. I know this isn't a great view, but he does a good job of getting that elbow through, getting the wrist through. So he's not necessarily ball. I know you can't see the ball great right on top of the elbow, but it's pretty close. And if we were going to really look at it from directly behind, it would be in a pretty solid position. A lot of that has to just do with that C position, having that wrist in a good, strong spot. And we'll go ahead and leave a card here for being able to watch the video on getting your wrist into the correct spot. So as always, guys, thanks for watching. I hope you like this information. If you do, click that thumbs up down below, subscribe to the channel. We really appreciate that. And we'll have a couple other videos for you to be able to check out if you're interested. And then also check out the description down below to learn more about Quarterback University and some of the things you offer for quarterbacks to help you improving your own throwing motion.